Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We saw Nachiketa very clearly, unequivocally saying, this is what I want. The words used were Nanya Varastulya Etasya Kashchit. There is no other boon equivalent to this that I'm asking for. Because this is Moksha Prapti Hetuhu. Nitya. Unlike everything else, all of which is anitya, means limited. It is finite. Okay, long time maybe like Svargaloka, etc., but still finite. What I am looking for is moksha jnanam. He made it very clear. But, no teacher will take on a student. Simply, I have 100 students. Not for that kind of, at least not for this knowledge. This knowledge, in other things, you may teach archery or you teach karate or something like that. You may have, okay, the more students I have, the better. Firstly, because out of that, at least some will be very good. They'll become good students for me. And in current day world, of course, that also means more income for the people. But this knowledge is not something you do like that. You look at saying, is two things you check. One is a commitment there. I want to know. And that's something every guru will want to know. And second, is the person concerned ready? Is the student ready? Does he have arhati? The capability to learn this subtlest of subtle things. So he will always check this. Dharmaraja now he is faced with the problem of a young boy who may or may not be ready, but he is asking for this knowledge and asking with great intensity. He wants to know, what is this post-death of the body? What is the reality? So he wants to continue to check him out, check out his vairagya. Is he sure? So he continues to tempt him. The kind of thing he is offering, imagine if those are the kind of offers one got from somebody who's capable of giving that. We will read all this. I have a feeling most people say, this is good enough. And that thing is unknown. I don't know what that is. This is great. Long life, unlimited wealth, all the pleasures. What else can I want? Artha, Kama, Dharma taken care of. People will concede, yes, this is okay. This I'll accept. Like we were discussing yesterday, depending upon who you're asking for anything from, ask what that person can give, not less, not more. Nachiketa is very clear. There is no one equivalent to you. You are the Lord of Death who can give me this knowledge. And I'm fortuitously, it's in the situation where I'm confronted with you and you offered me a boon. I'm going to only stick with this. Raja still wants to check him out. He says, Evamuktopi punaha pralobayan uvacha mrityuhu. This is the connecting sentence that Acharya has written. In Upanishad, you will find, even in Gita Bashyam, you sometimes find this. You don't know who is saying whatever is being said in that paragraph. You have to know only from the context. We saw in the previous two verses, Daive Ratrapi Vichikitsitam. In one case, Daive Ratrapi Vichikitam Pura, and other case, Daive Ratrapi Vichikitsitam Kila. Same words, but being said by one by Nachiketa, other by his teacher or to be teacher, Yamadharmaraja. So in many cases, Acharya will put in a connecting sentence, connecting that to this. Evamuktopi
Evamuktopi
punaha
punaha
pralobayan
pralobayanna
uvacha mrityuhu.
uvacha mrityuhu.
The Lord of Death, mrityuhu uvacha. We made it very clear that this next verse is by mrityu. Why does he say this now? He says, even though Nachiketa has made it very clear there is no other vara equivalent to this, and this is what I want, evam uktopi by Nachiketa, again, punaha pralobayan, give him temptation. See if he is able to resist the temptation. See if he has enough vairagya. He gives him this another set of things. The next three verses are Yamadharmaraja offering everything you can think of. I think it will be very difficult for any human being to say no to that. So many things he is offering. Not only things which are available here on the earth, but also Paraloka Vastu, offering all kind of things. Shatayusha putra pautran vrinishva.
Shatayusha pautran vrishva
Bahun pashun hasti hiranyamashvan.
bahun pashun hasthiranvashvan
Bhumir mahadayatanam vrinishva.
bhumer mahadayatanam vrinishva
Ayam jiva sharado yavadicchasi.
swayam jiva sharado yavadachasi
Ratayusha putra pautran vrinishva. Ask for longevity, which means automatically a whole lot of progeny, sons, grandsons, great-grandsons, etc. Bahun pashun hasti hiranyam ashwan vrinishva. Bahun pashun hasti hiranyam ashwan vrinishva. Ask for all kinds of pashu. Those days, that was the wealth, no? It is not like now you have your wealth is in your bank account. There, your wealth was only two things, land and pashu. So all kinds of pashu you can take. Bahun pashun, a lot of them. Bahun pashun, hasti. What kind of pashu? Hasti. Elephant. Hiranyam. If you have elephant, you will also need a lot of money. It takes a lot of maintenance. Even a cow, if you want to maintain, there's a lot of maintenance required. In fact, anything. You want to have a house, requires maintenance. But a live animal has more. You have to worry about the health of that. If there's any illness, you take care of that. There's a lot of effort, a lot of expense involved in maintaining any animal. As anybody who knows, who has a pet will know. If you keep a pet in the house, a dog or a cat or whatever, you know how much it asks for. So he says, Bahon Pashon Hasti. Also all the hiranyam that you need. Bahon Pashon Hasti, Hiranyam, also Ashwan, category of horses. Typically what you will keep in a farm. Horses, sheep, cows, bulls, all of them. You ask for whatever you want. Bahun, Pashun, Hasti, Hiranmayam, and Ashwan. You have all these things. Where are they going to graze? Are you going to buy fodder for them? These days I hear we've gone back to saying naturally grazed cows give better milk. They have all these funny names, A1, A2 and things like that, no? But that's how cows were, or all the other pashus were maintained. Which means you need to have a large tract of land where they can graze. Elephants need huge amounts. That's why elephants come here where we are, elephants come occasionally looking for food. So you must have enough land to plant necessary trees. In fact, sometimes if you have jackfruit, you keep, or a mango or whatever, you keep looking, saying, okay, it's almost ripe. By tomorrow it'll ripen. By the time the smell starts coming, and elephants will come looking for it. You won't get, elephants will take. We have here in Ashwavidyalaya, we have certain chiku tree. Chiku is sapota. And before we can lay our hands on it, all kinds of birds, bats will become. In fact, they say that if you have a mango or any other fruit which has been pecked at by the birds, it will be very nice. Because they know which to choose, which not to choose, which is ripe and ready. So you need land. I need a lot of vegetation on the land. In fact, animals also know one more thing. They, in the wild, animals know which aushadhi plant, herbal plant, is good for whatever problem they're facing. Sometimes, do you wonder sometimes when we have temperature, what do? We go to the doctor and gives you a paracetamol. What do? They've been programmed beautifully. They just go to the forest and look for that particular herb which will treat their problem. Maybe time has come for us to go back to that. I don't know. We've all got so conditioned to eating all these tablets, which only suppress the symptoms anyway. They don't really cure anything. So you need all the land. You need to grow plants for food. You need to grow plants for aushadhi. So you need a lot of land. Bhume mahatayatanam vrinishva. Bhume, Saptami. On the land. Mahat ayatanam. Ayatanam is land. On this earth, Bhume. Mahat ayatanam. Ayatanam is place, abode, something you own, land you own, estate. Bhume Mahat ayatanam vrinishva. You ask for that. Don't ask for this, what you're asking for. Please don't insist on that. Swayam sajiva shardo yavadicchasi. Okay, you get all this, but if anyway, I have a short life. I don't know how long or how short, but definitely not more than 60, 80 years, 100 years. Okay, I'll give you that also. Live as long as you want. Swayam chajiva sharado yavad ichchasi. As long as you want to live. You can enjoy all this has been given to you. You can also have long life to enjoy all of these things. Now look at the thing. Wealth is there, longevity is there, power is because you got a lot of land and animals and everything to go with it. In fact, ayatanam also can be interpreted as rajyam. So you have obviously a lot of people working for you. So power is there, wealth is there, age is there, longevity is there. Everything is offering on a platter. Who would refuse it? Only somebody who understands that there is something better. Go back to our old example of the child asking to given a choice between ice cream and a fully loaded credit card. The same thing. This is our ice cream. We would opt for this most of the time. And Acharya expands on this. Shatayushaha.
Yatayushah.
What is Shatayushaha? Shata is 100. Shatayusha Ayushaha. Shatam Varshani Ayushim Yesham Tan.
Katam Bashyam Ayushim Kesham Tam.
100 years, or because hundreds of years, Ayushim, your Vyas, Yesham, who has that? Yesham Tan. Tan Shatayushaha. So he's offering Nachiketa long life, 100 years. If you live for 100 years, you're going to obviously have family. That's what makes it worthwhile living. Typically, we know 3 generations. If we have children and grandchildren, that's it. Very, very few people can do have access to great grandchildren. Some people do, lucky ones. Putra, Pautra is grandchildren. Putra is children. So he says, Putra Pautran Vrinishva. Live for a long time, ask for children. In many ways, in the old days, a person's success was evaluated by how many children and grandchildren the person has. Putra Pautran Vrinishva. Not only Pautran, maybe Prapautran. Great grandchildren. Paprapautran. You've got to live for a long time, so you will have children, grandchildren, great grandchildren. All that you ask for. Putra Pautran Vrinishva. Kincha. Gavadi Lakshanan.
Gavadi Lakshanam.
Pashun.
Bahun Pashun.
Bahun Pashun. Gavadi Lakshanan. Like Gava, like cows. So cows means includes everything, even sheep, for example. Lomasham Pashabis Sahasvaha. You heard of that in Kathopanishad. Sheep, cows, all the other things in the same variety. He's already mentioned horses and elephants. So Gavadi Lakshanan, like cows, four-legged animals, and lot of them, Bahun Pashun. And what else? See, Pashun actually, because he is saying Gavadi Lakshanan, depending upon where you are, it could mean a lot of other animals of a similar nature. They are the wealth. So you ask for whatever you want. Pranishva. Hasti Hiranyam.
Asti Hiranyam.
Hiranyam.
Asti cha Hiranyam cha Hasti Hiranyam.
Hasti
Asti
cha
Hiranyam
Hiranyam
cha
cha
Asti
Hasti
Hiranyam.
Hiranyam.
Many times Acharya will point this out. Earlier we saw Shatayushaha. Shatam Varshani Ayushim Yesham Tan. Shatayushaha. So we'll expand that word and explain what that word is, what is the meaning. There's some request from somebody. I don't know what she's asking for. So, Hasti Hiranyam. Hasti cha Hiranyam cha. Elephants. Why it's called Hasti is, Hasta is hand. Also called, the trunk is also called Hasta only. The one who has Hasta, has a trunk, called Hasti. So elephant is called Hasti. Hasti cha Hiranyam cha. And because you have elephants, you have to also maintain the elephants. Therefore, you need a lot of wealth, Hiranyam, to maintain the elephants. Ashvancha.
Ashvancha.
Twice horses. Another category of animals. Horses. Also, you have horses because you have a large estate. How are you going to traverse the estate and look at, like, this, in American West, they say, you have huge estates and you have ranches. How do you cover the ranches on horseback? You need a lot of horses also. So, Ashvancha, Kincha,
Kincha.
Bhumehe.
Bhumehe.
Bhumehe means Prithivyaha,
Prithivyaha.
Mahat,
Mahat.
huge, Vistirnyam, large tracts of land, because you will need land. Kincha Bhumehe Prithivyaha Mahat Vistirnyam Ayatanam.
Ayatanam.
Ayatanam, he explains. Ashrayam,
Ashrayam.
Mandalam,
Mandalam.
Samrajyam.
Samrajyam.
Basically saying huge tracts of land. Or also call it you estate or rajyam. You post our privy purse abolition in India. All these kings, princes had huge. India was a whole lot of small kingdoms. There are still some Maharajas who exist in India. If not Maharajas, at least Rajas. But they were impoverished Rajas. They don't have anything. Even if they have one building left to them, they don't have money to maintain it. This happened in England also. In early 1900s, when all these lords who had huge estates, they started getting taxed on it. They had no other source of income. And they couldn't maintain those huge castles. And so many of them tried to sell it. They couldn't sell it because no buyer for them. Some of them converted into very nice hotels. I've stayed in some of them. But impoverished lords, impoverished kings. But here, our Dharmaraja is not talking about that kind of king. He's talking about a king with a lot of wealth, lot of land, even not a king, a big estate owner. So he said, Mahat Vistirnyam Ayatanam Ashrayam Mandalam Samrajyam Vrinishva. Ask for that. Ask for
मेरे को ये लगा के देना
huge tracts of land. Can you mute her?
तेरा फोन में ईयरफोन लगा के दे
Samrajyam Vrinishva. Okay.
मेरे फोन में नहीं लगेगा
Our one main problem in living a long life is that our senses start giving up. Any physical body, you know the Shadvikara, Asti, Jayate, Vardhate, Viparinimate, after that what? Downhill, Apakshiyate. And all our senses start failing. I've already had one problem with the eye. Ears are, I have to say what? What did you say? I didn't understand. They go, one by one they will go. We only hope that the mind, brain is the last to go. But they will go. So what is the point of my living 100 years if I can't walk, I can't hear, I can't see? Say, no, I'll give you everything. Samagrendriya kalapam.
Samagrendriya kalapam.
Amagra indriya kalapam. All indriyas. What about them? All the indriyas that you have, I'll make sure that they don't become useless. Samagrendriya kalapam sharadam varshani
Sharadam varshani.
yavadichyasi jivitum.
Yavadichyasi jeevitum.
So, all your senses will be intact for as long as you want to live. So he's covered all bases. You not only live a long life, you have a reasonably healthy life of senses, all your senses are intact, they don't die. You have a lot of wealth in terms of pashu of various types. You have a hiranyam and you have huge tracts of land. If you think this is going to give you what you want, think again. This common error we make, all humans make, is that if I have a lot of money, I will be very happy. Because ultimately what I want is really to be happy, to be at peace. If I have a lot of money, I will be happy. Wrong conclusion. You see somebody else owning things which from outside look as if that should make the person very happy. It does not necessarily make a person happy. But that's the way the human mind thinks. It's been trained to think like that, and we see around us everybody talking like that only. So when Nachiketa is offered all of these things, Dharmaraja wants to check out how clear is he in his mind about what he wants. He asks for the jnanam of reality. Will he be swayed by such temptation? Probably looks at Nachiketa and Nachiketa looks very clear, no, this is not what I want. How to up the ante, how to make the offer even more tempting. Because he's already said that I'm not sure you will understand this. I'm not sure I will go out at the end of it saying, I think I've taught you everything so that you can understand. As a teacher, I will be always in doubt. You will be in doubt. So he wants to make sure that the person is eligible. Person is, Nachiketa, the student, is ready. So he continues. This and the next verse, he continues in the same vein. He continues saying, what else can you ask for? Wealth, ayu, health, land, power. Can you think of anything else? What can you ask for? The only thing you can ask for is absolute happiness. Ananda Swarupa. But that only if you know that something like this is available, no? If you don't even know, then all this looks fantastic. There was a discussion I had with one of my company chairman many years ago on this kind of philosophy. And we were discussing, why do people do these little silly things? Those days, gas was not readily available, okay? You have to pay bribe to get the gas. Otherwise, it will take 1 month for him to deliver the gas. And you could not own more than one cylinder. Nowadays, people have half a dozen cylinders. You could own only one cylinder. So we were discussing, I had a problem with the at home and I was probably late to work or whatever. We were discussing and I said, look, I refused to pay bribes to my boss, I was saying. And he appreciated that. But I said, I don't know what will happen. It's a small thing like getting gas cylinder, I may not pay. But if for some reason somebody would offer me villa in the south of France with all facilities, everything taken care of, I don't know whether it will give in. At what point will a person give in and say, okay, I'll take this? What point will you give in? How confirmed, how certain are you of the fact that what you're looking for is moksha? And there is definitely a moksha, and there is something which can be gained through Shravana, Manana, and Nididhyasana. How much Shraddha does one have in the Shastra which says it is there for your taking? At what point does this temptation of Laukika things, Laukika Sukha, in terms of these 4 or 5 things that he is talking about, wealth, health, ayu, power, land, at what point would one say, take it, this is good enough, let me take this? Will Nachiketa take it? If Nachiketa takes it, we don't have an oppression. But he certainly tries to tempt him. He tempts him further. He says, okay, I've offered you all this wealth, ayu, etc. If there's anything else that you want, I can't think of anything. I know whether Nachiketa can think of anything, but I can't think of anything else. Etat tulyam yadi manyase varam
एतत् तुल्यं यदि मन्यसे वरम्
वृणीष्वभित्तं चिरजीविकाञ्च
विनेश्ववित्तं
चिरजीविकाञ्च
मा भूमौ नचिकेतस्त्वमेधि
महाभूमो नचिकेतस्त्वमेधि
कामानां त्वा कामभाजं करोमि
कामानां त्वा कामभाजं
कामभाजं
करोमि
करोमि
त्वा कामानां कामभाजं करोमि. I can fulfill all your kamas. I have the power to do it. I can fulfill whatever you thought you dreamt of that you want. Ever. I can give you. Kamanam Tva kamanam kamabhajam karomi. So that you can enjoy all those kamas. Kamabhajam. Acharya will expand on it further very interestingly. You have kama. You have great desire for certain type of sweet. But your sugar count is already 300 plus. How are you going to enjoy that? I can give you. Kamanam kamabhajam. Kamabhogam. I can make sure that you can enjoy it. Ask whatever you want. Etat tulyam yadi etat tulyam varam manyase, any other thing that you think you want, tatapi pranishwar. Ask for that also. Whatever you want. Can be chirajivika, long life. I've already offered you 100 years. No, I want 150 years. Okay, you take. Chirajivikancha vittam vittena saha. Long life, not life of poverty, life of luxury in terms of wealth. Vittena saha. Ask for that, whatever you want. Hey Nachiketa, Nachiketaha, tvam mahabhumau edhi. Mahabhumi is very interesting. Bhumi we saw was earth. Right? Mahabhumi is the one who owns the earth. Ask to be made the owner of the earth. Bhumi, and we saw there Bhume, Saptami. Here it is Mahabhumau. You and Edi means Bhava, become. You want to become the emperor of the earth. You can. I can grant you that. Hey Nachiketa, tvam mahabhumau edhi. Whatever you want, I will fulfill your kama. I will fulfill your desire. My God. Can you imagine anybody come and making an offer like that and knowing that he's capable of doing that? Capable of giving you anything you want. What do you think you'll ask? This group, I expect, will say nothing, moksha. Because this group has already shown that commitment and interest, saying there is something I want to know. But if you pick, take a mic and walk across in the streets and ask anybody, if you had access to Bhagavan and he says whatever you want, you will take, what will you ask for? Imagine what they will say. Incredible. This is the greatest wonder. Ascharyam. Knowing that Purnatvam is yours. Why are we hankering after impermanent things? The whole humanity is doing that. Bashyam. Etat tulyam
Etatulyam
etena
ena
yathopadishtena sadrisham
yathopadishtena sadrishyam
yatha upadishtena sadrisham. Anyamapi yadi manyase varam
अन्यमपि यदि मन्यसे
वरम
Yes, you want anything, anyat, any kind of varam you want. Tamapi pranishva. All this I've tried to tempt you. I don't see that temptation on your face. I'm therefore now raising the stakes and saying, whatever you want. If there's anything else that you think you want, please ask for it. I can give you. Kamanam kama bhajam karomi. Kincha
किञ्च
vittam.
वित्तं
Vittam prabhutam hiranyaratnadi.
प्रभूतं
प्रभूतं
हिरण्यरत्नादि
हिरण्यरत्नादि
Quantities of gold and all kinds of diamonds and other precious stones. What do you think is the value in the society? Whatever you think is of value. If you go into some of the tribal societies which remain isolated, they may still say glass beads. If you give me, I'll take that. For that, that's value. That's wealth. But generally in society, Hiranyam and Ratnam are what we look for. So any amount of wealth, Prabhutam, Vittam, any amount. Chirajivi Kancha,
चिरजीविकाञ्च
a number of years of living. Already is said long life. Really, what he's doing here, you can't, there's nothing else you can ask for. He's already covered everything in the previous mantra. But he's repeating. Saha vittena vrinishva.
सह वित्तेन वृणीष्व
All the wealth in the world, but you die at 16. What's the point? So, along with all the wealth, ask for long life. As long as you want. Chirajivikancha saha vittena vrinishva. Ityetat. Just because
इत्येतत्
this is how you understand what Dharmaraja is offering. Kim bahuna mahabhumau
किं बहुना महत्या
hatyam bhumau raja.
महत्यां भूमौ राजा
You ask to be the emperor. Mahatyam bhumau raja. You are the emperor of the entire earth. Hey Nachiketa, Tvam Edi, you say I want to become. Edi is Bhava. I can make you the emperor of the entire earth. That means what? Essentially saying, not only money, not only wealth, money means wealth, not only whole earth yours, not only that, but long life, as long as you want to live, putra, pautra, etc. You compare this with Anandavalli of Taittiriya Upanishad. In Taittiriya Upanishad, a unit of happiness. Ultimately, all of this we hope will lead to happiness. Says a unit of happiness is young, healthy yuva, very intelligent, owner of the earth, unlimited wealth. The happiness that he has is called one unit of happiness. And then in different lokas, it talks about multiples in hundreds of the same unit of happiness, some 7 times. So 100 times this, 100 times this, 100 times. So 100 to the power of 7 of this happiness. Because our assumption is that all this, youth, good health, wealth, power, land, all this is what is going to give me happiness. If you take that as an assumption, 1 unit of happiness. All that is offered in the previous mantra is only 1 unit of happiness according to Taittiriya Upanishad. And you can keep on multiplying by 100. Even when you do that 7 times, 100 to the power of 7, you still don't get absolute happiness. You can't. Absolute happiness is only when it is Ananda Swarupa, when you're very Swarupa is Ananda, which is the cause of whatever we think of as Ananda on the earth. On the scale of Ananda to sorrow, which extends on both sides, that which recognizes this, that Ananda. Oh, you want to become all this. I'm giving you the entire scale. You take what you want. But you still won't get what you're looking for. You'll still get something which is constrained by time, constrained by space, and constrained by vastu. Desha, kala, vastu, avachinna. Limited by all this. Only a person who understands this can resist this temptation. Can Nachiketa resist it? Mahabhumau, Mahatyam Bhumau. Raja, here, Nachiketa, Tvam Edi. Bhava, may you become. Kincha Anyat.
Kincha anyat.
Kinchanyat.
Kinchanyat.
Kamanam Divyanam Manushancha.
Kamanam divyanam manushana cha.
Twa is actually It should be Tvam to you. Tvam
Tvam
Kamabhajam
kamabhajam
Kamabhaginam Kamarham Karomi.
kamabhaginam kamarham karomi.
Satya Sankalpo Hyaham Devah.
Satya
Satyasankalpo
sankalpo
hyam
hyam
devah.
devaha.
Dharmaraja is trying to do to Nachikéta. Kamanam, and Acharya expands it saying, Divyanam Manushancha. Any desire any human being can have, or any desire any Paraloka Deva can have. Divyanam Manushancha. All kinds of kamas, I will make sure kama bhajam. You have kama, there are 2 conditions when that kama becomes effective. One is that you can enjoy that kama. Like I said, you like a particular sweet, you can't touch it because you have diabetes. Useless. What's the point of having this kama? You can't fulfill it. And the second is, are you eligible for that kama? Do you have the arhati for that? So Acharya expands it saying, Kama bhajam is Kama bhaginam, the enjoyer of Kama, who is capable of enjoying, and Kama arham, Kama arham. I will make sure that you have both. Kama bhaginam, Kama arham karomi. I am a Devata, Yamadharma Raja. I have certain powers. I can give you this facility for both enjoying every desire you have, whether it is Laukika or Alaukika, I can give you all that, and make sure that you are qualified for that karma. You know, there are certain karmas, desires, which you may have, but you can never enjoy because you don't know. People who are great collectors of original paintings, all the big masters. I have a big collection of not only Ravi Verma, but Monet and all kinds of other Sargent and all the other artists. But I can't understand anything of it because I have no arhati. You take some modern painting, cubist painting. It looks like nothing to me because I don't have the capability to enjoy it. Music. I can give you the best of music. But not only do I have no Swarajnanam, I have no taste also. What's the point of giving me music? So I give you not only the capability to enjoy that, but also the arhati, the eligibility for enjoying that music, enjoying that karma. I know I can give you that. I am Devata. It says, Satya Sankalpaha hi aham. Aham Devaha. Satya Sankalpo hyaham Devaha. I am
Satya
Satya Sankalpa
Sankalpo.
for me. I have the capacity to give you that. So look at it. Any kind of karma, any kind of wealth, any kind of thing to do with health or aging or sense of being in good shape, land, power, all of that I can give you because I have the capacity to give you that. I am Satya Sankalpaha. Now, even if Nachiketa at any point had a doubt whether he is offering all this, but is he capable of giving me that? You know, we talked about the example. You go to the local AE for some road repair. But if you have to go to the local AE for building a new ring road in your town, he may not be able to do it. He doesn't have the capacity to do it, nor the power to do it. When you ask somebody for something, you should make sure that A, it is not less than what he can give, nor more than what he can give. So Dharmaraja assures him, all of this I'm offering you, I am capable of giving you. He's still looking at Nachiketa. It doesn't look like he's got tempted. What else can I offer him which will be tempting? Remember, he's a young boy. And he probably heard a lot about what happens in this Jagat, not only on the earth, but in other lokas as well. Maybe something else that happens elsewhere that may be tempting to him. So the Yamadharma Raja is now looking at, say, beyond the earth tree, what else can I offer him? And that which he offers him, we will see in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om
Shanti, Shanti,
Shanti
Shanti.
हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो हरि